style, trend, life and soul, Korea only, weekend destination, people interviews, and more you can find on 1013 Main Street.
For this week's Spotlight Thursday, we have a relatively young entrepreneur. He's only in his 30s, but he's already onto his fourth startup. The third was bought by Google, while the fourth and most recent startup has attracted an investment of 2 billion won. His name is No Jung-seok, or Chester Rowe, and he is, for the time being, founder and CEO of Ablar Company. I say for the time being because I have a feeling this won't be his last startup. Good morning, Mr. Rowe. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello, good morning.
Now, let's go back in time a little. We first heard about you in the news when the company you had co-founded, Tatter & Company, or TNC, was Googled. In other words, it was bought by Google. It was the first for a Korean company. Why did you decide to sell your company back then?
TNC was a leading blogging service provider, and most of high-quality content creators, we call them power bloggers, were using our service. We were the good source of high-quality content. And Google was actually the entering Korean market in 2007. And as we know, the Google is a search company.
Yeah.
And search needs a decent quality and quantity of content. Problem was that the Naver, number one portal company in Korea, they simply didn't open their content to other companies. And Google needed something to fill this content gap. And we were the best one to solve the problem. So one day, the Google gave us an offer that why don't we work together?
Yeah.
And getting an offer from a famous company like Google, it's an awesome experience.
I bet.
Yeah. So as a blogging service provider, we also needed a method to get revenue from that content. And Google did have a good way to do it. I thought it was a good fit to each other. And another small problem was that after getting an offer, most of our engineers, they were already in Google. So
They wanted to go, yeah?
Yeah. Google was really famous back then. And so I didn't have many choices about to proceed with it. So we went to Google.
So what lessons did you learn from that experience that helped you when you were setting up another startup?
If you start your company, there are only three options. Doing an IPO or going bankrupt or M&A with some of the company. So my first, I started the first startup in my life, and my first company went to an IPO, and second one went to bankrupt. Yeah, it was. And third one acquired by the world-renowned company.
So you tried all those three options.
Yeah, actually, I was lucky enough to experience all these three options, and someone even told me that I got an entrepreneur grand slam. Yeah, I think that it enabled me to adapt to better situation, better to many other different situations of business.
Too bad that the Grand Slam includes a bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Now, when TNC was acquired by Google, you joined them as well and was Google's product manager for 2 years. What did you learn from that period?
The biggest learning from Google was how to run a big-scale business. Everything was big there. They always said a big thing with a big scale. And Eric Schmidt even told that the online business is all about scale. So there's no scale, please don't bring it, and things like that. Yeah. The way of doing a big scale business is after seeing it and learning it in Google. Yeah, the way after seeing it and learning at Google.
That kind of changed.
Yeah. They permanently changed their way of doing business. And second one is social networks. Unfortunately, I never lived outside Korea.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, for someone who never lived outside Korea, you speak very good English.
Yeah. It was the first experience of mine working with people from different languages and different cultural backgrounds. It was a great chance for me to have a global experience. So if I hadn't had a Google in my life, I think that I would have never been in Silicon Valley. Sometimes I even think that I have a debt to Google.
So you went on to set up Ablar Company. How did that happen?
As an entrepreneur who just finished the M&A with a global company, so many entrepreneurs came to me, they asking advice and sometimes even funding. So I met a lot of people. So I love meeting people and learning from them. The one day I met a really impressive team. They were the founders of Ticket Monster.
Wow.
Yeah. They were preparing a business similar to Groupon. So it was hot back then. So I thought the execution speed was the most important one to succeed at those business in Korea. And they seemed just a great fit for that. So I captured by their passion, and we called it nothing to lose mind. And yeah, we didn't have nothing to lose at that time. So I became not only a loyal mentor of the team, but also an angel investor later on. Yeah, the company did grow tremendously. And just after 1.5 years, it was sold to the Living Social.
That's right.
Yeah. The second largest group buying company, and with hundreds of millions of dollars of valuation. So while meeting those guys, even though I was still working at Google, I felt a kind of urgency that I should do something again.
Is that why you decided to leave Google?
Yeah. So when starting a company, the important things are only two. So a market and a team. Yeah, market is mainly about problems. Who are target customers and what are the pains of theirs? Competition, market size, and the growth expectation. And a team is who is actually executing it. Of those two, which one is most important? My answer is definitely a team.
Team.
Yeah. Our current CTO, he's a really fantastic engineer with a great passion. Actually, he urged me to leave Google for the start a company with him. So I really, really wanted him. So he told me that if you don't go with me right now, so I'll go with another person. Yeah, which was really threatening.
He threatened you.
Yeah.
You liked him enough.
Yeah,
then, huh?
I needed a team. I can't do anything alone. So I left Google to get him and another really talented co-founder. So 3 of us back then they founded Ablar company.
Yeah. So what were your plans and goals for Ablar?
We wanted to create a social network based on a real place. So if you go to a good cafe in Garoskil, so you can meet many people with similar ages and cultures. But simply no way to talk to them. Yeah, we just imagined how it would be fun if we could connect them together. Yeah, so our answer to this question is JustSpot.
What's JustSpot?
Yeah, JustSpot is a social camera with beautiful decoration effects in it. So just the 3 steps, very easy. So spot, snap, share. Yeah, if you spotted something fun in a real place, just snap a picture. And beautifully decorate your photo with emotional filters. We are providing several numbers of emotional filters. And share it with the JustSpot. And you can talk with people around you in that place.
Oh, so it's an
fun.
app.
Yeah, it's an actual app. So you can get an app in the justspot.com and you can directly go to the App Store. We have 2 additional apps, both from iPhone and Android. So actually, already thousands of cool people are using JustSpot, so please,
Okay, JUSPOT, huh? JustSpot.
Right, yeah.
So that's like a social camera, you say?
Yeah, social camera with beautiful effects.
Does Ablar mean anything in particular?
It's actually Spanish. Yeah, if we put the H in front of the Ablar, it's HABLAR.
HABLAR.
Yeah. So habla means to speak in English. So whatever business we do, so we wanted to create something connecting people together, to becoming a kind of a communication intermediary. So we thought habla was a good name. And also because it starts with AB, so it can always be listed in the top order in the brochure or something.
In alphabetical order.
Right.
That's a smart move.
Yeah.
AA can beat you, though.
Right.
Were you scared or nervous at all when you went out to set up Ablar company?
Actually, yes, I was. Maybe I have been, I am. I will be scared, nervous, afraid while running a company. So, but in a good way, though. So making a decision under uncertainty entails a lot of stress. But I love that feeling. That feeling means that you are doing something that never existed before. And after nearly 15 years of my life as an entrepreneur, so if I don't feel that, yeah, I even feel that something is seriously going wrong, or simply I'm not taking much risk.
So you actually seek the thrill.
Maybe.
So you attracted 2 billion won in investment. So what did these investors see in your company?
As I said, mainly because of the market and team, I guess. So at the time when our investor, the Stonebridge Capital, the nation's leading venture capital, decided to put money into our company, so we didn't even have a clear plan for our business. But they trusted our team and gave us a chance. So I really appreciate all the strong support and belief they've shown to us.
Plus, they saw how you sold your third startup to
Maybe.
Google, right?
Maybe.
This is your fourth startup. What motivated you to set up your first startup in the very beginning?
Frankly speaking, I didn't have a great vision that I would change the world by creating a great company. So I was not a businessman at all. So I was rather the famous hacker.
You were a hacker?
Yeah, when I was really young. Yeah, I spent most of my college life in a computer room rather than classroom. And then when I was 20, I had an accident. So I made the computer security crime. Yeah, to break a computer system about
You
the schools.
hacked into other schools'
Yeah,
computer
it
systems.
was nearly 15 years ago, and it was quite famous back then. And
Wow.
yeah.
So you went to jail and everything?
Slightly over a month. My mother,
About a month?
Yeah. My mother really had a hard time. I was okay though.
Well,
Yeah.
you were a criminal.
Yeah, worse. I'm back.
So that meant you probably didn't have too many choices of
Yeah.
finding a job somewhere, right?
Yes, I did. So I didn't have many choices at the time. So I didn't finish my undergraduate, and I should go to the military service. And my GPA was pretty bad because I was not in the class at all. And no graduate school would accept me. And one man in the same school, who is 10 years senior to me, they came to me and proposed me to found a company. So I didn't know what company, founding a company was. But it just looked fun, though. Your hacking skill and my sales and marketing skill.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Let's make something big. We can make money. And that's exactly what he said. And yeah, I don't know why I just said yes, but it looked just fun. And that was the beginning.
And as you said, you didn't have too many choices at the time, right? So let's talk about the first two startups, the IPO and then the bankrupt ones.
Well, okay. Yeah, the first one went to public in the stock market, which gave me a lot of fortune in early 2000, when the dot-com bubble was in its culmination. My actual dream when I was really young was becoming a car racer, rather than an engineer or something else. So I was really lucky enough to make my dream come true. So I was a car racer for a year after first company getting listed in the market. And I got a good record. Yeah, it was a good period of my life.
So you're a hacker, an entrepreneur, a car racer, and then you started the second one.
Yeah, second one gave me a lesson that I'm nothing but a little smart guy, requiring more learning and experience. Yeah, bankrupt. So I felt a bitter taste of failure, but I strongly swear that I would never end up failing again.
So how do you handle setbacks?
It's a difficult question. I think that I'm always setting up daily goals over capacity every day for intentionally dragging me into many small failures every day. I train myself that way. So I make many small failures every day and always make myself to used to it. So if I don't meet the expectation of other people sometimes, I think it's a great chance to lower the expectation of theirs, and so I can restart it again in a much lighter position.
So you train yourself for small failures every day, and then you sometimes intentionally lower other people's expectations of you. Interesting.
Yeah, in order to make me lighter.
Well, you are now described as being quite successful. How do you feel success has affected you in your work?
I was successful. I was successful as something in the past. But frankly speaking, I'm yet to be successful at what I'm doing now. So I don't have a clear philosophy for success and what is the success is, because I'm too young to say that, I think. But I simply think that the success is just a result, and a failure is a process. Success is a sign that you should move on to the next process with many failures to next success and things like that. And taste of success is so sweet, so it's kind of addiction. Maybe That is helping me in deal with many failures every day.
I like your theory. Success is a result and failure is a process. And after success, you move on to the next process of failures. Now, in another interview, you said that we need stars in the startup industry to encourage more people to begin their own companies. What kind of stars? What makes a star in the startup industry?
It's simple. The reason why many students go to the medical school and law school is that they just see doctors and lawyers live affluent life. If I can show them another way of being like that, or the far much more bigger than that, I think it helps them to change the notion to go into the path of an entrepreneur. We need more company. So I think we need more success cases like the venture stars.
Stars like yourself?
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm in the process. The last year, luckily, we had many success cases such as the Ticket Monster, sold to Living Social, and Answers, sold to KT, and Lotipool, sold to KakaoTalk. And KakaoTalk itself is a huge star.
Right.
And there are so many other startups on the way to success, such as Classmate, Waffle Studio, BCNC, Life Interactive, Paprika, so many companies.
Yeah, and maybe Appler as well.
Yeah, I
along
think so.
the way, yeah. Why do you think it's important that we have more startups in Korea?
Yeah, I think it's very important for the future of our country because in the software industry, it's the only country that has growth. Other than other industry. So in order for our country to have companies like the Facebook and Google, we need more candidates. The more numbers of trials we have, the more numbers of successful company we have. And I believe that creating more jobs in software service industry is very important to the future of our nation.
So, in conclusion, what do you feel are some valuable lessons you learned through the process of setting up all these startups? And what advice or tips would you give to others?
For those who didn't see the commencement speech of Steve Jobs at Stanford, maybe year 2005,
Yeah.
I strongly recommend to see it. Yeah, the most impressive one is that, as Steve Jobs said, life is too short to live someone else's life. You should believe in yourself and must keep going along your path by staying hungry and staying foolish.
Yeah.
As Steve said, I really like him and miss him.
Yeah.
And I think doing a startup is a perfect track to do it. And especially for those who are considering to start your own business. Please, maybe everyone like me, say similar to me. So just do it.
Just do it.
Just to do it. Rather than spending time on getting advice from, other people around you and spending time fighting against the objection from your mother and your girlfriend. I think just to do it is the most important keyword.
Stay hungry, stay foolish, and just do it.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's great advice to wrap up this segment with. Thank you very much, Chester, for coming in. And we wish you the best of luck with Ablar and all the other companies you will found in the future.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That was No Jang-seok or Chester Rowe, a former hacker turned entrepreneur, turned car racer, turned entrepreneur again for this week.